support a family of 4. My wife doesn't work. I had 2 kids. I support a family of 4 on this family. I tell you this is the best kept secret in the world. Not yet. So we can also you see the pads that they place on people and then they get shocked. We can do that. We can read strips from our monitor showing kind of like a picture of what your heart looks like. And we can look at these squiggly lines and kind of try and figure out what's going on. So in a nutshell, that's kind of the 3 different areas or the 3 different levels. But I will say this: a good EMT will save a paramedic any day. So because we're thinking one way, the EMT is thinking another, and guess what? It's a team sport. Just because I'm a paramedic doesn't make me any better than an EMT. It's a team sport. I need that person just as much as they are. Okay? Questions?
Of course, we have a store. We have a store. Usually in a month we take about, on the average, of 10,000 calls, and that's in dispatch. Not saying that they go to 10,000 calls, but we take in 10,000 calls a month. That is 911 calls. That is somebody calling in on a non-emergent line. That's our ring down lines where sheriff department or city call us and wants to go somewhere. So all together combined, for an average is about 11,000 calls.
Everyone, and welcome to Project Ready TV. My name is Angie Anderson-Moton, and I am super duper excited to be with you today for another segment of our career spotlight and just chatting it up, talking about careers and just different things that you can explore. But before we get started, I would like for you to do a couple of things. I would like for you to share this video, like this video, tag someone if you know it would be helpful to them. And I would like for you to comment below anything that you would like to ask or have comments on, and we will make sure that we answer those for you. Today, I am super excited to have Kip with us. Kip is a student at the Medical University here in Greenville, and I am going to let him introduce himself however he feels, and we're going to hop right in. Thank you, Kip, for being with us today, and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you again. Tell the people a little bit about yourself, Kip.
Sure. So my name is Kip Callahan. I was born and raised in northern Brazil. My parents are missionaries, and so I grew up in the jungle. Right on the Amazon River, and I moved to I moved to the United States when I graduated high school, lived in Wisconsin for a little while, moved to Greenville, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do career-wise, and I knew my one thing. I was like, I want to make a difference, which is kind of a thing that people in medicine have. And so I was like, well, I don't think I want to go into medical school because that's just a long road and that's scary. And so I was like, well, if I could really make a high impact and I can go out there and make a difference with a less amount of schooling, I thought that EMS would be a good route. And so I went to EMT school, which is a semester. And that's, you can work on an ambulance with an EMT certification. And then I went to paramedic school after that, which was another 1.5 years. So the entire route was like 2.5 years. And then I worked as an EMT for a while and then as a paramedic after that. So I've been a paramedic for 6.5 years now. I graduated in 2014. So it's been a while. Okay. And then after working in EMS for a while, I realized that I really liked patient care and I like taking care of people. I really like that, but that EMS wasn't a good fit for me career wise. And we can talk about that if we want, if you'd like, but that kind of pushed me more towards medicine. like being a physician, because I love the autonomy. You're out on an ambulance and it stops with you. You have to make the choice, what am I going to do with this patient? So for me, it was a really good transition, I think, into medical school and being a physician, because you have that autonomy. But I also knew I love the patient care. I love taking care of people. So that sort of pushed me towards medicine. And I love Greenville. It's my home now. And I worked here for a few years. And so I really wanted to go to the USC School of Medicine in Greenville. And so that's the one school I applied to, and that's the one school I wanted to go to. And they saw me for for who I am, and accepted me. And so I've been, and it feels like a long time, but I've only been in school for 4 months. So
I asked Kip before we came on, and of course he did mention a little bit to you about EMS, EMS, EMT, and paramedic. So I want to kind of backtrack a little bit, and he is going to explain to you all the differences between those three, because even I didn't know, and I think if we are aware and we know, then we can understand the differences and then use the terms correctly. So take this time, Kip, to kind of just explain to the students the differences, especially for those that are interested in this type of work. You definitely want to know the differences between the three that he's getting ready to refer to.
Sure. It's a super common misconception, or just people just don't know, because a lot of people refer to EMS and EMTs, and you see it on the news, the paramedics, and so no one really knows unless you're in the field. So basically EMS is emergency medical services, and that's the umbrella that kind of is over the entire service. So underneath that umbrella, you would have dispatchers that take your 911 calls, and you would have administrators who, do training. And then you would have the people who are out in what we would say out in the field, which those are the people who are doing active patient care. And there are multiple levels of training that you can go to. So I kind of mentioned EMT, but that's, when I said that, I was meaning EMT basic. That's a certification level. So I went to Greenville Technical College, really cheap. I just got a few basic scholarships, and I didn't have to pay anything because I was low income at the time, and still am. Student life.
Don't do that.
So yeah, Greenville Tech was great because you can do EMT and EMT basic, and you can finish that and get a certification within 4 months. And then you can actually get a job on an ambulance working as an EMT basic. So, or you can go to more schooling and you can become a paramedic, which is another 2 years-ish, year and a half, 2 years. And what you can do, your scope of practice is like, how much you're able to do is a lot broader as a paramedic. So an EMT basic can give maybe 5 to 10 medications, basic medications. They can, do basic life-saving techniques, stop bleeding, bandage, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And paramedics have training in a lot more training in cardiology and respiratory issues. So we can take care of a lot of cardiac issues, a lot of breathing issues, give a lot of medications, 60 or 70 medications, and we can just do a lot more. So that's a paramedic level, which is the highest level that works on an ambulance generally. Mm-hmm. So that's, for me, that's what I did. I went to the paramedic level, which was about 2.5, 3 years in school.
Okay, awesome. So now you're a med student, and this is your first year. And tell me, when do you think, what was that push for you? Like, what really made you decide, okay, I'm gonna give this my all? Because I know when we first met, you mentioned you felt like you were a little bit older. and you've gone through several different things to get here. And I think that was one of the things that we wanted to mention too, that it's okay for you to, or, someone to go through a whole different, span of things if they want to. And then all of a sudden, either because of an experience or because of what somebody said or something that clicked for you, then you want to make that leap and change totally, what you're doing, and that is okay. And when we were on our first call, and I said to you, I said that would be perfect, because I think, a lot of times we get, which is okay, we get polished people that really have not had to change or maneuver or adapt or be flexible with life. But they have to do that in their career, but not maybe just life, which just gives us sometimes a whirlwind. So I wanted to give you the opportunity to speak to our students about, how you have viewed your life and, your path and how you're okay with it.
Sure. So my path was very different from most of the students that I'm in school with right now. A lot of the kids, even in my small group of 8, I think 3 or maybe 4 have physicians that are in their family, either grandparents or parents. But for me, that wasn't ever really a thing. So my path, some people, they just, they go to grade school, they go to high school, they go to college, they know they want to be a doctor, and then they just get in right afterwards. My journey has gone a lot like this, but I don't have regrets, because every step of the way, I started out driving school buses when I first moved to the United States. That was my job. And I loved that job. Got to hang out with the kids, got to drive the big bus, and it was a great job. And so I worked that job through EMT and part of paramedic school. And so it gave me, a means to survive. It paid my bills, and it was flexible. And so I used that kind of as a stepping stone. But when I first moved to the United States, I didn't know what I wanted to do at all. I mean, I graduated high school, and it's people say the world's at your fingertips, but I didn't how do you know what you want? It's such a big question mark. How do you come up, if you don't have a dream, that's in your head, how do you come up with that? How do you create that and foster these things, So for me, it took kind of just one step to the next sort of thing. When I moved to Greenville, I was driving a school bus, and I was trying to figure out, what do I want to do with my life? And I took a test, an online test that basically you answer a bunch of questions, and it gives you some fields that you would like. Maybe you should like these, maybe you'd like these. And so I took a test, and EMS was one of the things. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And being a physician was another one. And I was like, I don't have, I'm not interested in that right now. That's too long of a road. And so I decided to go the EMS route, because it was easier, shorter, not necessarily easier, different, but a shorter route. And so I felt, I can still make a difference. I can go out there and save lives as a paramedic. But after working in the field for a while, I came to realize that, and this was really the turning point, is when I realized that EMS is super valuable. I mean, those people are out there, they really do make a difference, and we need good paramedics and EMTs. But for me, I wanted to make a more long-term difference in patients' lives, because EMS, it's inherent. It's kind of like the ER. People come, they're sick, they're bleeding from somewhere, their chest hurts, and you kind of fix them up a little bit. You do what you can. Sometimes you really address the issue and you save a life, but a lot of other times you just take them to the hospital and you do what you can on the way. And so it's it's more short term, and you're putting out one fire to the next, a lot of it, which I think for some people really works. And it's the same thing for working in the ER. Some people love that, where it's, you never know what you're going to get. You sign in, you get on the truck, and it could be anything. It could be a gunshot wound, or it could be, a kid fell off of a swing. It could be anything. And so for me, I love that, but I also wanted to feel like I was really changing lives more than, putting out temporary fires, if that makes sense.
It does. It does. It does. So do you kind of know, and you might have said this, I'm sorry if you did. Do you know what area of medicine yet for you?
I did not say that. I wish I did. I'm not sure yet. So.
Okay, that's fine. No, I was just asking.
One thing that for the students that are watching, one thing that really encouraged me and kind of pushed me towards being a physician, in addition to my experience in EMS, was shadowing doctors. And there are so many doctors out there that are teachers at heart and love to have students. And that was one of the things that I was like, okay, so I'm a paramedic. I love what I do. I like taking care of patients. I like medicine. But do I like being a doctor? And so it's hard to know. And so I went and shadowed a bunch of different doctors. So I've shadowed a couple physicians who work at the coroner's office, a couple primary care physicians, a pain management physician, an ophthalmologist who does surgery on kids of the eyes of kids, and then a couple ER doctors as well. So I've shadowed a bunch of different specialties, and all of them were like, whoa, this is cool. I could do this. And so I felt like, okay, if I could do all of these things and I could see myself in all of these roles, like I'm going in the right direction. So.
Well, we're definitely going to have to follow your journey. But if I had to tell you what I thought, I think it would be family medicine, because you have said so many times that you want to be able to help someone with a problem. And, you've mentioned, if it's being being a paramedic, it's whatever it is in front of your face at that time that you have to help with. But you've also said, you want to be able to help that person with the problem. So I see it as either family medicine or internal medicine. But so I'll just wait and see and follow your journey. And I hope that you out there, students, will follow his journey with us. So we hope to be able, we have relationships with a few student doctors. A few months ago, we had Joelle on. So we have gained a special partnership with the students at the medical university, and they're so gracious to us, and we appreciate everything that you all have done with us and for the Urban League. Kip, before we go, is there any last nugget that you would like to give our students that's either interested in medicine or not? What would you say to our students just to stay focused, considering a career exploration, whatever it may be? What's your final nugget for them?
One nugget.
One.
So I think I'll just give two little nuggets.
Okay. All right.
I kind of mentioned this before, but it's okay to not know what you want. And I think that's normal. There's so much pressure on you guys, meaning you students, to know what your dream is and to know what where are you going to go to college? What are you going to do? And it's it's okay. You can take it one step at a time. And so, yeah, I guess just be forgiving with yourself, but also take steps to better yourself at the same time. A lot of people, it's either, this or they're not really progressing. And I think that's part of it, is progressing and bettering yourself, and, whatever that looks like. If that's, being a great employee at whatever job, it's all going to help push you towards your dreams. So I would say that's one thing. And then also get a mentor. My mentor has opened so many doors for me. She is amazing. She helped me with applications, helped me with planning and scheduling, because I'm sort of scatterbrained, and she's just the best. So honestly, having a mentor has opened so many doors for me. So yeah, find a teacher who is interested in your success, or a mentor of other types. So yeah, those are my 2 little nuggets.
Thanks, Kip, for those nuggets that you just gave our students. Every time we speak, it's just so enlightening, and I've definitely enjoyed having you today. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to see you 2 again. And yeah, if any of the students want to reach out, or you want to give them my contact information and they want to talk about EMS or medicine, I'm totally down. So thank you again.
Awesome. Well, Kip did say something in the interview that made me think that we can definitely give you some opportunities. If at any moment you would like to take a career exploration assessment, we have that available. We use our Cooter assessment, and we can give that to you. We can sign you in the portal, and you can take 3 assessments that kind of help you narrow down some of the things that you've been thinking about. So please remember that. He also stated mentors. Mentorship is so very important. We also have a mentorship program. So we want to make sure that you grab hold of those opportunities. So until next time, continue to follow us at Urban Lead 864 and on our YouTube channel at Urban Lead Project Ready GVL, or you can give us a call if you have any questions, concerns, or comments at 864-244-3862. Until then, happy holidays, and I hope to see you next time. My name is Angie Anderson-Moton, and I have enjoyed my time with you. Bye.